First thing I want to ask you is just how are you doing? How have things been?
Everything's good. Just got through we had like a lockdown at Australia for a couple months, but we're still training through it, doing like a lot of running, a lot of cardio, so it's kept fit. Now we're back into it.
That's good. Would you say that COVID impacted your training quite a lot then?
It did impact it a bit, but we always find ways to work around stuff. So we worked around it, and we still got some work in, kept fit, and I'm ready to go anyway.
That's good to hear. I take it that your training camp has started for your next fight then, if you've been working already.
What was that, sorry?
Has your training camp for your next fight started, I take it then, if you've already been getting the work in?
Yeah, it's kind of started now. It hasn't officially started. Probably I think it's December, but I've been training, so.
No, well, it's always good to stay active, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 100%. You want to be fit before you enter camp.
So what I want to ask you about is your last fight. Obviously, you did really well in it. How was the pressure heading into your last fight? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, there was a lot of there was pressure. Like leading up to it, I acted like there wasn't, which kind of you have to. But there was pressure because reality is, if I lost, probably would have got cut. So there was pressure, but I didn't think about the result too much. I was just worried about performing and staying focused and just trained hard and leading up. That's the only thing I was worried about, is going in there and performing. I wasn't worried about the result too much, and that helped me a fair bit.
Obviously, all the effort you put in paid off, and how did it feel to get your first UFC win under your belt?
Yeah, it felt amazing, man. Like it was it was like a bit of a relief, like hit a goal. Like my goal was never to make UFC. I wanted to win in the UFC. So I ticked off a goal there. Ticked off a goal. I was never happy just to make it, So I've ticked off a goal, and now we've got to go to the next step and keep winning.
No, I think that's a good attitude to have. In regards to your last fight, did it play out how you expected it to in terms of your game plan and your style?
Yeah, we knew he was a big knockout artist, very dangerous early on. So the coaches kept especially my coach Alex, my MMA coach. He kept telling me, he goes, man, you got to believe in your grappling, believe in your fitness, and go after him. So I didn't expect to just be able to take him down that many times early on. I thought it would be a bit more striking, but the way it planned out was perfect for me. So I got tired too, but obviously he got more tired, so it worked in my favour.
No, it clearly went well for you. Looking forward for your next fight, obviously UFC 271. What's it feel like to be on such a big card as part of the pay-per-view?
Hey, it's going to be a massive card. Rob's obviously headlining it with Israel. Yeah, honestly, I haven't really thought about it. Really haven't thought about the card and stuff. Just worried about the fight. I know there's going to be a crowd this time, so maybe that's it might be a little bit different. I don't ever know. Just never done it before. Might be good, might be, I don't know. So can't really say too much, but I haven't really thought about how big the card is going to be. I'm just worried about the fight and my preparation.
No, that's fair. Would you say, do you feel a difference fighting on a pay-per-view compared to a normal fight night card? Is there anything in your build-up that feels different, or during fight week that's different?
I couldn't say, because I haven't really done it that long to really know the difference, to be honest. My first fight was a bit different because the first time, so I'll probably be able to answer that question better after this one,
Yeah, I'll have to ask you that after you come off your UFC 271. You mentioned obviously Robert Whittaker headlining the card. What's it like sharing a card with him?
Oh yeah, we've shared 2 cards already together. It's obviously it's good because we're both in camp training together, hard pushing each other every day. It's good to have the camp together because everyone's on the same page, same mentality going into training. And fight week, we both kind of keep to ourselves anyway. I don't really like to hang out too much. So, but it's good to have another person with you fighting, going through the same things you're going through. So,
Yeah, well, you chase the same goals, aren't you? You're both trying to win. I've got to ask you, how is he
yeah,
looking,
100%.
and how do you see the rematch playing out between Robert and Israel Adesanya?
And he's looking really good. He's looking sharp, fit, strong. It's gonna be a different fight, you know. Like, say everyone thinks about the first fight, how it was, and whatever. Everyone knows Israel's hardest fight is Rob. So it's a fight, you know. Like, anything can happen. Any shot can change the fight, but it's gonna be a cracker fight. It's gonna be a hard fight for both of them. It's just gonna who implements their game plan the best is gonna win the fight, you know.
Yeah, I understand. Moving on to your opponent for UFC 271, AJ Dobson. Obviously, he's 6-0 heading into this bout. Knowing he's undefeated, does that add more fuel to the fire for you? You know, when you're training, like you want to be the first one to stop him almost.
No, not really. Not really. Like, he's only 6-0. It's not like that much experience. It's not like he's like 15-0 and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got similar experience to me because I've had 6 pro fights as well. I don't know too much about him, but I know he's obviously a big athletic guy, explosive, knockout power, which most of them are in the UFC, in the middleweight division. So
That's
I haven't
fair.
really looked into him too much. Yeah, I haven't looked into him too much because we're not that close to the fight yet, so I don't really like to look too much until we get a bit closer. So yeah.
That's understandable. When you're training, do you tend to focus more on yourself rather than your opponent and look to what you can do yourself rather than what worry about they might bring?
Yeah, that's how my mindset's been, especially in the last fight and now, especially with my boxing coach, Brian. He's focused on like what you're gonna do and let them worry about me. It's not as much worrying about them too much. Obviously, you got to know what they do good and do well, and what you can exploit. But you can't worry about them too much. You got to worry about yourself and how you're going to perform, what you're going to do, and you got to be like the hunter, not being hunted.
I like that. And in this fight, what would you say is your route to victory? And would you give me an official prediction of how you think it will go?
I don't know how it's gonna. I never know. Like, could be. I don't know. Could be boxing. Could be grappling. But I tell you, I'm ready for 15 minutes, and I probably got one of the best cardio in the UFC, to be honest. So I'm not going to get tired. I'm going to go after him for 15 minutes.
I look forward to seeing this. Looking forward to 2022. If you got a win in this fight and setting yourself up, is there any goals that you have on your list that you want to achieve next year?
And I just want to keep fighting. I'm obviously a big goal on my list, which I know is not easy. It's going to be a hard goal to get to, but I think I have the skills to get to. Is trying to get into the top 10. I don't know if it's going to be 2022, might be 2023, but that's like the ultimate goal for me is keep working to get to there, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. No, I like that. I like the fact you've already set out your plans. You know what you want to do, and you know how you want to achieve it. I'm gonna ask you to look a little bit into the future now. So, if I say when you were to enter title contention, who do you see holding the strap?
I think that we'll just say hypothetical because the title contention is going to be
Hypothetically, of
hard.
course, yeah.
It's going to be a hard way to get there. It's not going to be easy. Not even say I want to be there soon. So, but man, there's so many good guys, especially in the middleweight division. It's like got the best talent in the UFC at the moment. The middleweight division. It's like the perfect between the size and athleticism and speed, and technique. Obviously, Israel and Rob are probably going to be up there still. I don't know. They're going to be there. There's going to be who else is up there? But see, Rob and Israel are the two standouts in the division.
I was going to say I think they lead at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, I think Rob's gonna get it done this fight, and they're probably gonna have another trilogy fight. So it's probably gonna be them two at the top as it is now.
That's I think I agree with you there. So one thing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what was it? Nah, it's all good.
I was saying one thing we're doing at the moment is we're asking fighters to give their opinion on some upcoming fights. So obviously the first one we've got, I want to ask you about for December, which is Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira. Who do you see taking that?
I think Charles Oliveira. Everyone's saying Dustin Poirier, he's gonna break him, but I think Charles Oliveira is gonna get it done. I think it's his time. I think everyone underestimates. They've seen him get finished a few times, but he was real young as well. So I feel like he's matured into his own. I think he's gonna get it done. He's got good grappling, good striking, and I just think he's gonna get it done.
No, I agree with you. A lot of people still think that Oliveira doesn't have what it takes to make a championship, but he's done well to get to where he has. The next fight I want to ask for your prediction on, Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gong. How do you see that fight going?
I think Cyril Gane is better than him everywhere, but Francis Ngannou, all he needs to do is just land one, and it's all over, you know. So, I put my money on Cyril Gane, but you can't put it past Ngannou landing a shot. But I just think it's going to be hard for him to even land the shot against Gane. Gane's too fast for that division, and his style, he looks like he's like a middleweight in a heavyweight's body, the way he moves, you know. So I think he's going to get it done.
No, I appreciate that. Well, that is actually, we flew through that, Jacob. That's everything I had for you. I just want to say thank you for taking the opportunity to come and do the interview. I really appreciate it. And I wish you best of luck heading into your next bout.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bud. Look after yourself.